Hello, Ben here from Supercoach Insider, bringing you my team into round 18 and obviously reflecting on the horrible performance that I had last week and bringing you all the its, buts, and go-betweens as far as my team. So it was a very, very, very interesting week, but before I do, please do like, subscribe. I think we are very close to 1,500, could be pushing over that bracket right now, so hopefully you're the one to do so. Like, show, and love, give us some support. I really do appreciate you. SC Insider 100. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Go find us. We're trying to do little segments there, so please do show us some love and support. And we'll be doing more little segments, particularly when there's something happens like Parish is out. We might start to do, particularly from next year, do little segments where I'm like, oh, hey, everyone, Parish is out, and I recommend you bring in Steele, or trying to sort of work between little scenarios that happen more live and immediate instead of doing this YouTube video that takes a bit more time and effort and procedure. So please do like, subscribe, also all the audio platforms as well, so Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, you name it. And on YouTube, please do like, subscribe, follow us on Supercoach Insider. The other thing is, sponsorship real quick as well. So sponsored by splashvodka.com.au. There's watermelon and pomegranate, but the other one is orange, lime, etc. Absolutely sensational. So really appreciate them. They're a Victorian company, 79 calories. They're tasty. They're a small punch. So I think they're 0.9 standard drinks in a little bottle that's 250 mils. So it's just refreshing to drink. And the other sponsorship, of course, is Manscaped. Super happy to have them on board. They've been a long-time supporter of us now. So when we have a look, Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for the family jewels. We already received their, I think it was their performance package 4.0, so I had a whole bunch of awesome stuff there. 5 million men worldwide use Manscaped, so that's 10 million balls. And we also have SC Insider 100, so it's a 20% off code there. But on top of that, we actually received their Ultimate Bundle. So I'm going to put this up in the link as well. Super awesome. I think it was like $64.99, but if you put in a promo code as well, it was already discounted, and then you put this in and it gets discounted even more to basically like $35. You get a body wash, you get shampoo and conditioner, lip balm, deodorant, and another deodorant spray, and really good stuff. So check out our YouTube as well. So Swizz and I talk about this as extensively, but basically it's like cologne scented. I really do recommend it, and I would be easily paying like $35 for it when you get about 5 different things. That's cologne scented. It's just, absolutely unreal. So go find them. SC Insider 100 is the code on manscaped.com. Free shipping, 20% off. Go nuts and get involved. So my week, when we have a little bit of a look, 2,390. It should have been 35 points more. I should have had 2,425 if my maths is correct. I went Lockie Neal as captain. So it was very painful. And I'll explain the reasoning between that. So I'm now ranked 208th. I went up 13 places. It's funny because I was risking it for the biscuit to try and improve my rank, and if I just had played it safe, I would have improved my rank even more, so go figure. The reason I did look at Neil as captain, and it was stupid, because I had the 124, I should have taken it, I normally would take it. Neil's history plus people out, I was thinking, hey, maybe there's more Supercoach points because you're not having Zorko, Rich, Harris Andrews, Parish. Where are these Supercoach points going? Obviously, all the points went to Merritt and none to Neil because he was horrible working through a tag and basically gave up. So Zach Merritt had no attention, absolutely killed it. I kind of wish I went Merritt instead of Parish all those weeks ago because Merritt's scoring more points than Mills. And as you know, if you followed my journey, I brought in Parish. Parish got injured. I brought in Mills because I thought he would be killing it. And he has kind of killed it, I think, for 2 out of the 4 rounds I've had him. So I can't be too upset. Now, having a look at my team, speaking to me last week, you would have known it's very interesting that I have 3 trades left because I was looking at making some moves last week. I was looking at, so I had Heaney and I was looking at bringing in Taranto. And that was pretty much a good done deal. I was definitely going Taranto and should have had 2 trades left. and I was pretty much looking at banking those and moving it forward as far as trades and points. Now, Toronto's been really good. I'm not too concerned there. I figure, hey, tough run home, Hopper possibly coming back into that side. Maybe it's a little bit of an issue. But it was more importantly, I didn't really trust Hobbs' job security last week. He was dropped. He came in late. So I was like, okay, so I kept him for a week. He had a really good fourth quarter, which is the only reason he didn't score 30 to 40 last week. But then Parrish going out, I was like, okay, well, Hobbs has got some pretty good job security. He didn't score too bad. His break-even wasn't too bad. I think even now his break-even is like 50. So it's not too bad, right? He has better job security. So I was like, well, hey, maybe I keep my 3 trades. Just wait a week or two, get to these Supercoach finals. Maybe I'll make a move in a week or so, and I can use Hobbs as my cover forward defender sort of swing. So that's what I was looking at. Now, Clayton Oliver injured. I'm hoping he plays this week. I was considering, and this is the sort of thing I was toying up with, if Clayton Oliver misses, I was like, hey, I could use him as kind of like a mini cash cow. Clayton Oliver to steal. So my logic was, now this is where it's sort of fallen down, because Clayton Oliver is a really good VCNC option. Steal, not so much. So I was like, well, Clayton Oliver, if he goes tough run home, good opponents, if he goes 120 to 125, then I'm thinking Steele can go, 115, 120. And Steele is a great buy. He's basically $170,000 cheaper, $173,000 cheaper. So cheap for a guy who can pretty much give you similar output, get maybe within 10 points per game of Oliver. I think that's a really good deal. I think that's a super good bet, where I was going to then use that $170,000, throw it on top of Hobbs. And the issue was, I think I was about $2,000 short of getting in Bontempelli. I was a little bit short on, so I was looking at a Bailey Smith and having $40,000 in the bank. And the issue is, I quite like, so Bailey Smith, I think, is quite good. I think he provides run, he provides dash, he's definitely scoring well enough, he has a high ceiling, his base isn't too bad. Now, the thing that Bailey Smith that kind of worried me is that they play Geelong in a few weeks. Now, we saw what happened to, I think, Langdon trying to play in Geelong. There's no width. It's really hard for a wing to kind of be relevant when the field is narrow. You can't switch as easy because everyone can kind of press. And Geelong love to press and stop the kick inboard. They hate the switch. Geelong wants you to play slow and down the line because it suits them to try and turn it over with some of their tools and intercepts, and they back in their system. So, not to mention the opposition generally kick about 4 or 5 out in the full because they don't realise how narrow the field is. So I'm worried about that because Langdon didn't do well. Bailey Smith, if it's on his side, maybe, but there's not much room compared to other games for a running, dashing player like Bailey Smith. So that concerned me. That's why I didn't really want him. Just recorded with Swizz, and he's talking about wear down and upgrading. So I was like, hang on, where's like 293,000? Could I get more than 170,000? Yes, I could, because I was so close to Bontempelli. So I would rather Bontempelli. His base is like 80. I know they have a tough run. I'm thinking they have Bruce coming back in, and you've got Bailey Smith coming back in. So I think if that happens, you've now got Norton, you've got Bruce, and these other players up in the forward line. So they probably don't need Bontempelli as much, and they need to win. So I'm thinking Bont has to probably go in those guts a little bit more and really try and dominate and then rest forward because their season's on the line. The only concern is if a season's on the line, if he has any limitations still, they might choose to rest him later in the year, but I'm hoping not because he's their captain. I think he usually plays through any kind of limitations generally, so I believe they'll still play him in the future. So the thing that Swizz actually got me to believe and realize is that I can actually go Hobbs and I can go Ware, and I can pretty much then look at bringing in a Bontempelli. So the whole reason I was looking at Bailey Smith even, because I honestly believe Heaney's not going to do well against Fremantle, but hey, it is what it is. If Neil plays, it's a perfect scenario for me because then Heaney can just be on the bench and playing as a loophole. And then the other option is I'm looking at, so doing that and then seeing what sort of cash I have available. So when I have a look in that defensive line, I'm going to go defense and I'm going to sort it by cheapest. Now, I could just go $102,000 player and give myself $15,000 in case I need it. But at this current point in time, Burgoyne's been playing 68, averaging 60, sort of 66.5. So he's been doing all right. I can afford him just $400 left over. It's meant to be super close. So I think this is what I'm now going to do for this week. I'm hoping that Oliver plays. I'm hoping Neil doesn't get COVID like half of the other Brisbane Lions at this current point in time. And then I can literally be playing Bontempelli here and loopholing Heaney possibly into my forward line and seeing how I go. Now, Heaney as a loophole option, it gives me great coverage. I can now cover a forward and throw English into my ruck. I can cover every single line except for defence, relying on Burgoyne for my one trade left. So I'm hoping if there's an injury, if it's a 1 to 2 weeker, I've already got cover. I can cover my forward line, my rucks, my midfield with Heaney. That would be the option. I'm saving my one trade for a season-long injury, particularly an injury in my defensive line because I don't want Burgoyne playing. Now, there's 6 rounds left. That one trade, this provides me a little bit of flexibility. I could hold it steady, but I'm trying to push forward in my rankings. I'm trying to gain some points, and I honestly believe Bontempelli against Heaney is probably going to net me 20 points a week more anyway. So I need to kind of take a little bit of a risk at this point, have my one trade for a season-long injury, and use my cover for a 1 week, 2 week, possibly even 3 week injury. Just use my cover naturally and try and make it work. So that's how I'm sitting for this week. That's how I'm looking. As far as season VCs, it's a very interesting one. Now, there's so many close matchups. McRae has only got one really good captaincy relevant score in the last sort of 8 rounds, I think it is. So when we have a look, this whole section here, 117, 104, 102, 107. He's got 155 and a 123 against generally weak midfields. He hasn't gone great. And there's only real one VC out of those, 8 rounds that you would take. So I'm kind of leaning against taking him as a VC. One of them's going big. Dunkley, Bontempelli, McRae, right? English, someone's going big. I don't think it's English. Their rucks are too strong. So I'm almost leaning against fading this game. I think Darcy, I'm not sure who Sydney's going to play in their ruck this week, but I think Laddams is injured. I think Hickey's still injured. So I'm really quite keen to even try and VC him if I can. Not sure about my loophole options here, but that is definitely something that I'm considering or something you should consider. If Oliver plays, I'll be keen to try and loophole Heaney. Again, I don't think he'll do well in Perth, but we'll see. And I think Tuke Miller's a pretty good shake against Essendon. I think Tuke Miller's everything that Neil's not. He's a hard worker, and he works through a tag, and he'll do extremely well. His history is not great, so that doesn't give me much confidence at all. But when we have a look at the sort of teams similar, he's not. I guess he's got more than McRae, but his last couple of games have been pretty good, so I think that'd be a pretty risky call. Darcy, I like. Man, it's a tough week for captains. I think Laird might do all right against Collingwood. It's really tough, though. Oh, here we go. 144, 185. Okay, so Collingwood midfield, guess they might leak some points for a guy like Laird that goes and towers up. So I think Laird's definitely a good safe bet this week. I'll probably VC Laird and see how I go. Hopefully, I'll just take a nice little 125 or more. I'll definitely won't make that mistake next week. I should have got the extra 35 points. Hopefully, Oliver plays this week, so I can then try and loop Heaney and maybe not play Heaney. Ideally, I'd love to loophole Heaney if he goes like 112 plus again. Then I won't be taking Paddy Cripps because he hasn't done that much lately. The other option, I was considering getting rid of Cripps, to be honest. But if I can get a premium loophole player, Cripps still has a high ceiling. So if I have a Heaney absolutely kill it 1 week, then I'm like, cool, I'll take his score. I'll put Brody in my midfield. If he kills it, then cool, I won't take Cripps. In an ideal world, I think that's sort of what I'm looking at. But that's it from me. Let us know what you're thinking about. Let us know if you're on my train. Let us know how many trades you have left as well. Are you risking it for the biscuit? Are you pushing for the overall rank? Or are you trying to look to make some moves to beat your friends in leagues and make yourself relevant that way? That's it from me. I'll talk to you next time, and I'll see you soon. Bye.